Good morning and Friday, 4th of April. First Friday from April, 7:18 in the morning. We have 12 degrees, no wind, and clear sky. So, yeah, that was pretty much a very new day for me. Even when I have a few years in trading, this looked like Bitcoin. So yeah, it was kind of a funny day because I tried to short yesterday. Um, yeah, but this politics and stuff, I guess you have to be ready for every situation. So I just apply my trading plan, which allow me just one trade per day. So that was for me. But later on the day, when I had a little bit more peace on my chart, let's say like that. Yeah, what happened? So I was we were stuck in this liquidity for a few days. Yeah. So this guy pushed it to the downside, and this was the last liquidity from the downside. I think people call it sell side liquidity because people is pointing down. So from here, they activate sales, blah blah. This is for the breakout traders. Pretty much, I don't focus on that. I just focus in algo, algo structure, algo mindset. So yeah, this was the liquidity that was looking. So then we bounce in this liquidity. This push all this beautiful movement to the upside, and then by another concepts that I study, we just look for the last order block, which mean normally we have. Oh, I didn't put the clock, so now I put in the clock. You have some extra minute, so I can chill now with that extra explanation. So normally when we have a trading range, let's say like this, it's equal to this, we will have two set of smart money trap. So the one in the middle, normally it's called the decisional, and then the one in the extreme, which call, yes, you guessed it right, it's called extreme. So yeah, we have that one for mitigating yesterday. We just yeah, had a little bit stop here to accumulate more liquidity. Sell side, I guess this is sell side. I don't. I always twist them, but we have this trend liquidity down on accumulation for a couple of days. How many days to be exactly? For 8 days, 9 days, 9 days, just in trend downtrending, downtrending, downtrending. There's a lot of orders. There are people is selling, 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 like me yesterday. No, not really. I sell around here or here because of the EPA, blah, blah, blah. Boom, my stop loss fly. Even I had to pay a little bit more because the movement was so volatile. Then it got a few dollars more. Anyway, we have this order block from here, and when I want to explain that, I mean, if I had another chance for trading yesterday, definitely I will wait for this. Why? Because we have clearly the mitigation of the daily order block right here. All right. So we for sure gonna have a reaction, right? So that's why I'm waiting on the order blocks. My problem is that I still have this switch or how do you say, like a reaction thing that when you learn smart money concept, kind of as you visualize each single order block or whatever as an entry. So yeah, I need to apply the smart money trap now concept, which is bouncing in the smart money trap, identifying the smart money trap. How? With the fake breakup structure, because the fake breakup structure is going to give you the inducement. The inducement on the top or below is going to create the smart money trap. That's it. So yeah, we have the smart money trap thing. You remember? So where is my internal range liquidity? Of course, this move was so volatile. So what's going to happen? The price is going to push, 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 push up until we have an obstacle. And the obstacle is going to create a tiny, this thing, order flow. And I call it order flow because it's going to go and protecting each high. I'm talking about this part from here. All right. I hope you're with me. So after mitigating the daily order block, we will have a reaction and the smart money trap, this smart money trap, right? So where are we going to go? To internal range liquidity, protecting all the guys until we take the internal range liquidity and then we shoot again up. All right. So we have the high time frame perspective. Let's go a little bit inside. So we have the rejection, we have this huge spike thing. I call it non-valid leg because it's using a spike. And for me, yeah, sometimes this become a liquidity. Anyway, I didn't saw this yesterday because I saw when it pushed it to the upside and I say like, oh man, now, okay. So we were in New York. I never trade with other people. This is new for me. But I get into this group because I was curious. People, it's smart, and I like to be around by really nerd people. So yeah, I joined them, and we start to analyze together. And what do we saw here? Maybe in the 5 minutes, a little bit clear. Yeah, the 5 minutes is clear. So if you pay really attention to this movement, yeah, we consider this one as a smart money trap, and then we start to spin the ball again. What do you mean with spinning the ball? Because we need to identify internal range liquidity. All right, let's do it. So for example, when you have this order block here, and we are going to the upside, I will just hold here. So we have New York starting at 2 p.m. until the 3 p.m. All right, let's study what New York did. This is not that complicated, but yeah, it's you need a lot of practice for the mechanical thing. Tuk, 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 because the different fractals they form in different time frames. You need to put them together. So sometimes you can buy, but you still need to sell to go to the buying inducement and then make the real buys. I hope makes sense. We have the bounce. We have the bounce. We have the bounce. So we have the bounce and we go into the internal range liquidity. In this case, when we have this little guy from here, we have a bullish breakup structure, and a bullish breakup structure is going to give us you say it right, a bullish, a buying inducement, right? In this case, I also failed. I need to say it because I'm learning with these videos as well. I'm rewatching it later. Um, what happened here? So I have my mitigation block, so it's completely nice, and I have two kind of entries. I have this entry that I was expecting that this high is gonna get smoke, but again, we activate the order flow. And how do I know? Because this huge spike up. And how do you say? Because I mean, I'm a programmer as well. Yeah. And to, um, I need to gather the information when I program this and I say like, hey, how I measure like this distance, is this enough to be an inducement that is going to be protected until we take the internal range liquidity? So I need to be really, really careful with the information that I'm giving to the algorithm so he can start to recognize this thing. So let's put our head right here. So if you understood like this for me in the future, when you understand that this is activating the order flow, so your entry can go only until mitigation. Which mitigation? Mitigation of the liquidity, which will be here, right? Mitigation bedeutet. Mitigation means that you go to, yeah, an order block and you bounce. As soon as you understand like the bounce of the order block, you understand, all right, I have a bounce because I am the order flow, and the order flow is so simple that you can just enter in 2 points. You can enter in a liquidity point, or you can enter in the bounce of a order block. In this case, the order block will be up. So in the order block, you can choose 50%, 75%, 25%, whatever you want. So that's the thing. But the main thing is that you can enter an A liquidity or you can enter in the bounds of an order block. In this case, will be valid because we activate the order flow. I hope that's clear. So you have your order block and you have your tiny liquidity. So you can choose the tiny liquidity as you like, or you can choose the 50% and miss this opportunity or the point in the top. That's the thing. So it's free will. In this case, I have a low candle rejection. This is in 15 seconds for sure. It's giving me a sell inducement. We can go to 15 seconds. I know that you asked me now, but how are you gonna be 15 seconds? So what do we have there? We have a break of structure to the downside, and we have a sell inducement, and we have the order block. So yeah, you have your poem there. And again, in 15 seconds, it's giving you a mitigation area too. All right, 15 seconds, you have your mitigation area. And then in 1 minute, I want to show you the other entry because I was talking about the mitigation and the liquidity entry. So the liquidity point is completely clear which one it is. Da, da, da. Nah, but how are you gonna go in a liquidity point? It's so unclear, blah, blah, blah. And you remember the internal range liquidity? All right, so good boy. Why this point? Because we also have here, if you looking with attention, boop, 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 bop. I think that should be relevant from 15 minutes, right? No, 5 minutes. 5 and 15 minutes is the let's say quotation mark high time frame to decide if this is a fake break of structure or not. So I have here a rejection candle give me what? Buying inducement, right? Buying inducement. So you can go in the mitigation and let's go 1 minute again. I hope I'm not confusing your brain too much. Other way, I will be here for, I don't know, maybe 1 more month or whatever. Yeah, this is the liquidity entry. This will be called the mitigation entry. And the liquidity entry also can be applied to this part because this part was the huge inducement up, which grabbed most of the liquidity. I mean, grab all the liquidity, like no one was here. And then what you do, the last point of the liquidity from this, let's say range quotation mark, because I don't use range, I use fractal. So my fractal will be from this point to this point. This is the last high liquid point. So the market come and then melt. The market come, then melt. Melt.